In this video, we will dive into the movie Your Fault, or the Spanish name is Culpa Tuya 2024. We will discuss the movie story, summarize the plot, and explore the cast and characters. Additionally, we will cover the movie production details and box office performance. Finally, we will provide the reviews and personal reactions. Let's begin. Your Fault premieres on Prime Video on December 27, and writer-director Domingo González promises it is a step up from the hit first film My Fault. The good news for fans of the YA franchise is he claims the third installment, Our Fault, which will land in 2025, is even better still. When you have success with the first movie, the second movie is often not as good, and then the third one even less so. The Helmer script, speaking to deadline day before the release of Culpa Tuya. In this case, people are saying that the second one is better than the first. And everybody that has been the third movie says that it is the best of the three. The Spanish language films are produced by Porcupine Films, part of Benji Aparia and Amazon MGM Studios. It stars Nicole Wallace as Noah and Gabriel Guevara as Nick, and traces their relationship. On the way, the team avoided second album syndrome was to write the subsequent movies before the first one was out in the world. Gonzalez wrote and directed the first film and then teamed with Sofia to pin the sequel and threequel, so everything has happened at speed. Mercedes Ron Culpables trilogy was a New York Times bestseller. The Argentine-born Spanish author work sold more than 3 million copies and notched plus 100 million reads on Wattpad. The scale of the first movie's success, however, battered expectations. In its opening weekend, Culpa Mía ranked among Prime Video's top 10 titles in more than 190 countries, including the US, UK, Australia, India, Argentina, and France. It is Prime Video's top international original movie to date. This comes amid as YA streamer boom that has been seen Germany, Mexican Hall, the world between US break records for Prime Video. Yes, we accepted to have the success in Spain, and I wanted to have success abroad. I thought it was going to be a big in Mexico, maybe, but not all around the world, in India, in Indonesia, Pakistan, Korea, everywhere. That was unexpected, Gonzalez says. He was called in after Porcupine's principals and producer of the films, Alex Della and Carolina Bang, had optioned the books. They thought they were getting a director, but as Gonzalez went deep into the source material, he ended up penning the screenplay. I realized I was writing a script, not just taking notes, so I told Carolina, hey, I already have the script. They gave it to the Amazon Prime and they said, this is perfect. Culpa Nostra is then post and drops in 2025 with no release date yet confirmed. The Culpa Tuya premiere, meanwhile, just took place in the Palacio Vistagra Arena in Madrid in front of 4,000 people, many of whom were fans and influencers. It's safe to say the fandom is strong with this franchise. Gonzalez says his adaptation associates the humor while amping up the action from the book series. It speaks out first love and feeling that are universal, he says. And I wanted to have humor, they had to be fun and funny. I also wanted the dialogue to be a little more adult. When people think of a YA movie, they sometimes think that young people are stupid. So I wanted to have something a little more clever. This is a very clever generation. I treat them with respect. The new film sees the characters more mature, and the challenge Noah and Nick face steadily become more grown up. Without heading into spoiler territory, there are parts of the second book that chunks of the fan base struck against. Gonzalez says that played into how he and Sansa approached the Culpa Tuya screenplays. It was very difficult to do the script of this book because the fan didn't want to see some things, he explains. On the internet and TikTok and our Instagram, they were saying, "We don't want to see that, please don't show that." So we had to deal with that part of the story another way. It's similar to the book, it's not much different, but we did it in our other way. I think they are going to be happy with the solution. The main thing is that I agreed with the things they said. With the second culpable movie days away and another landing next year, an Anglo version of Culpa Tuya My Fault London is also in production. Prime Video is very much in the wrong business elsewhere too. An adaptation of the first book of a new saga by the author Damli Bajito. Tell Me Softly, his other work is already in production. The movie Your Fault. I was not familiar with Mercedes Ron's culpable trilogy before watching My Fault, and the film was not intriguing enough for me to take an interest in the book. It did not come as a surprise that the trilogy was first published on Wattpad before Penguin Random House picked it up. There will always be an audience for forbidden and often cringe romance, and the success of My Fault was somewhat expected. I personally thought the involvement of the minor with an adult could have been avoided considering the popularity of the trilogy among its young audience. While navigating the thin line between what's morally right and what's not is precisely the point of forbidden love. Defending it or treating it as the ultimate act of rebellion or even glorifying it. It's possibly not the path one ought to take when dealing with such sensitive, debatable subject matter. Even ignoring the nonsense and when it comes to its subject, My Fault was not a memorable watch. So I didn't go into Your Fault expecting much, and it was pretty much a disappointment as well. As someone from the Twilight era who grew up watching a 100-year-old vampire demands a teenager, I cringe every time I think about the details. Nothing truly comes as a surprise. The most apparent problem with My Fault is that it goes to sexual too soon and fails to keep the excitement alive. The films never really explore the character well, and as soon as the shock value fades away, you are left with an extremely boring and messy romantic drama. Throughout Your Fall, you wonder why we must root for Nick and Noah. There is clearly no chemistry between the two actors, even thought they want us to believe that the characters are inseparable. When dealing with such a predictable storyline, the characters and their love story must be worth rooting for. The My Fault series is not like 50 Shades or 365 Days, where the essential scene composite for the lack of a good storyline. It is strictly a romance drama, but unfortunately, it is neither engaging or entertaining. The narrative in Your Fault was quite fragmented. There is a hodgepodge of problems that need to be resolved, and the film come to an abrupt end. If the film focus on building chemistry between the characters and explore just a couple of threads to keep it exciting, perhaps it could have been an enjoyable watch. Don't get me wrong, I don't accept anything profound from teen romance, but I look forward to being entertained. But unfortunately, it was a snooze fest. The ending of My Fault hinted that the next part would be about the parents and their coming to terms with their offspring dating each other. Surprisingly, that turned to be a very insignificant portion of Your Fall. Rafaela and William were not comfortable with the fact that Noah and Nick were in love, and while that in itself could have triggered events and resulted in a massive crisis, it is treated quite lightly in the sequel. Instead, more new problems are introduced in Your Fault. In the sequel, Noah and Nick struggle to tackle jealousy. With Noah graduating from high school, Nick was right that maybe she would meet more new people in college and forget about him. He decided against continuing his internship in London to be there for Noah. He was convinced that distance would ruin their relationship and he was ready to compromise professionally to ensure their relationship did not suffer. As someone who grew up in an abusive household, Noah was raised by her mother to never rely on a man for her own happiness. She had come to realize that she had started to depend on Nick, and she was right that he would hurt her. Neither of them discusses their reasons for feeling insecure, and it resulted in misunderstanding and distrust. Noah was tired of hiding her relationship from the world, especially after she saw Nick with his colleagues Sophia. As an 18 years old, she deserved to love anyone she desired, but at the same time she knew that if she announced her relationship with Nick, it would affect her mother's public image and would destroy the reputation of the Leicester family. The fact that her mother did not understand what she was going through made it all the more difficult for Noah to navigate the complexities in her life. Except for Gina, she did not have anyone in her life to ask for relationship advice, and more often than that, she made questionable decisions. However, insecurity, jealousy, and unsupportive parents are not the only problem addresses in Your Fault. New characters such as Briar, the betrayed, vengeful farmer lover, and Mikhail, a college senior attracted to Noah, are also introduced. These characters make Noah and Nick's life difficult by plotting and scheming against them. Not only that, in Your Fault, Nick's mother, Annabelle, plays a significant role, particularly in the climax of the film. Big revelations are made in the sequel, and presumably their consequences will be addressed in Your Fault, the final part of the trilogy. So now you know what I mean by a hodgepodge of problems. The performances are not truly convincing, and what's the point of the forbidden love story if there is a Syriac lake of sizzling romance? Gabriel Guevara as Nick and Nicole Wallace as Noah deliver a forgettable performance. Maybe a touch of humor could have worked in favor of the film, and but the plot is treated with an extreme seriousness that feels unnecessary. Given the popularity of My Fault, it will not be surprising if the sequel becomes another major Amazon Prime hit as well. Maybe fans of the Fault trilogy will find Noah and Nick's love story worth shipping, but on a personal note, without any basis whatsoever, Your Fault did not cut it for me. Aside from the scenic visual, the film doesn't offer much. Maybe it would have worked if it is took the 50 Shades route. But the decision to deliver an undercooked, unromantic drama is simply unimpressive. Your Fault movie review: bizarre and wooden step sibling romance. This mind pulverizably bizarre and woodenly acted rom dram from Spain is the second of the projected trilogy. My Fault, Your Fault, Our Fault, and a whooping rating success for Amazon's Prime Video despite or because of the fact that it is makes a daytime TV soap look like Ingmar Bergman. It is based on the best-selling and initially self-published romance series by Argentinian author Mercedes Ron, with a premise that has maybe bound for any Emmy, Heikeling's 90 comedy classic Clueless. Yet, with all the Homer sauces away, forbidden step-sibling romance, Noah is the teen daughter of a widow who has remarried a wealthy liar, and to dismay of these elders and betters, pottering Noah falls hard for the smoldering, hunky new stepbrother she has now acquired. This is Nick, breathly known to her as Nick, as he attends to her physically needs in various upscale locations. The All-Stars were forever trying to split them up in the first film, and they are now at again, brazenly setting up Nick in his father's law firm in the hope he will fall for the sultry intent Sophia, played by Gabriella Andrada. Meanwhile, Noah, freshman college roommate Briar, has a secret emotional history with Nick, and Noah herself has a highly unlikely interest in illegal drag racing because of her criminally inclined late father who has a connection with some badass type from the non-rich but still attractive part of town. It all could have been fun with a teaspoonful of humor, but everyone concerned behind the camera has calculated, perhaps correctly, that this would be inimical to its commercial success. Your fault. So, what is the plot of the movie? Is the love between Noah and Nick seems unbreakable despite the maneuvers of their parents to break them up. But this and this job and her entry into college open their lives to new relationship. The appearance of a revenge-seeking ex-girlfriend and Nick's mother with nuclear intention will shake the foundation not only for their relationship but of the Lister family itself. When so many people are out to destroy a love story, can it really and well? The director of the movie is Domingo González, and you can watch the movie on Amazon Prime Video. Your fall movie ending and summary. Will Nick and Noah get back together? Noah and Nick's sensational forbidden relationship in My Fall generated quite an audience. Some swooned over the romance while others gossiped about the sensual lovemaking scene. Either way, My Fault was crowned an entertainer by most. The sequel, Your Fall, is based on the second part of director and author Musti's trilogy known as the Culpa saga. While the first film was about how Nick and Noah failed madly in love, the sequel focuses on whether or not they would choose each other given their circumstances. A year had passed since Noah's father, Jonas, was killed by the police after he abducted his daughter for money. Noah struggled to cope with the death of her father, and she also had a tough time because Nick was not there by her side to help her heal. He was sent to San Francisco for an internship at a law firm. When Nick finally returned, Noah felt hopefully about their future together. They were inseparable, and now that Noah was 18, no one could legally stop her from dating the man she loved. Who was Briar? Briar was Noah's college roommate, and while she initially seems harmless, it is gradually revealed that Briar had an ulterior motive. As it turned out, Briar was one of Nick's former girlfriends. She was in the passenger seat with Nick at an illegal car race. They met with an accident and Briar was severely injured. After the incident, Nick disappears from her life. She could not believe that the man she had risked her life for did not care to visit her at the hospital during the 2 months she was recovering there. Briar was heartbroken when she discovered that Nick was already with someone else. She never told Noah the truth, even though she was well aware that her roommate was dating the man she despised. Nick too did not explain herself to Noah, assuming it was best to keep his past a secret from her. Briar struggled to make peace with the fact that Nick had moved on. She had to be admitted to a mental institute for almost 2 years. And while she was doing better than before, her trauma resurfaced when she crossed paths with Nick. She wanted to seek revenge. Her goal was not just to make him suffer, but to push him to his limits and force him into making a drastic decision. She conspired with Nick's mother because there was no one Nick desired more than her, and she also tried to hook Noah up with their neighbor Mikhail. Even though Noah always made it point to maintain a distance from Mikhail during the lowest point of her life, she faltered. Briar played a significant role in ensuring Noah messed up with her relationship with Nick. The couple was struggling in their relationship a way. Nick had developed attachment issues after his mother left him, and it impacted his relationship with Noah. As much as he wanted to be with her, he could not imagine living together yet. Noah was taught from a young age to never depend on a man, and she wondered if she was relying on Nick a little too much. Jealousy also played a key role in Nick and Noah's relationship. They were afraid of losing each other, and since they could not go to public, they feared external entities would separate them. Why did Nick help Noah? Noah maintained her distance from Nick's mother, Annabel, knowing how much he despised her. But one day she showed up at Noah's place and she begged her to listen because she was her only option. She explained that Nick did not know the entire truth behind her and William's separations. And she added that Noah too had no idea about how long William and her mother Rafaela had been dating. She asked Noah to think about her after Noah realized that Rafaela and William were trying to set Nick up with Sophia, Nick's colleague and a daughter of William's friend. She decided to give Nick's mother a chance. The next day, Noah allowed Annabel into the Leicester mansion. She asked Noah to check a secret drawer in the study where she stated that the lawsuit for Nick's custody was kept hidden. She going through the documents. Noah realized that Annabel was telling the truth. She had been blackmailed by the Leicester family to withdraw the lawsuit. Nick's grandfather, Andrew, always wanted his grandson to be his heir, and that was all the more reason why he refused to let Annabel take Nick away from them. After discovering that Annabel had created on and she cheated on William, Andrew blackmailed her. Annabel did not know that this Will was secretly dating Rafaela. She did not have a choice but to agree to Andrew's terms and conditions. But now she wanted Nick to know the entire truth. Noah was surprised to discover that her mother had already started dating William when she was dealing with her abusive father. Noah was convinced that the night her father stabbed her, Rafaela was with William spending quality time at a luxurious hotel. She later confronted Rafaela. She did not blame her mother for her traumatic childhood, and just like she showed restraint by choosing not to hurt Rafaela even though the truth was painful, she expected the same from her mother, knowing how her mother prioritized her happiness over her safety. Noah was all the more determined to love whoever she desired. Why did Nick leave Noah? Despite the war trying to keep the lovers apart, Nick and Noah always found their way back to each other. Overcoming jealousy was not easy, and Nick expected Noah to choose between her life in Spain and a future with him in London. He'd been offered a position in London and he was yet to make a decision about it. Noah could not stay away from Nick, but she also had trust issues, especially after she discovered that Nick was Briar's infamous ex-boyfriend. She had brought Briar to a party organized by Sophia's family just to see Nick's reaction when she confronted him. During their false ending, things went out of control when Briar opened the back door for Annabel to crash the party. Annabel approached the Leicester family and Nick lost his temper. He asked her to leave immediately, but William asked him to stop. Afraid that a heated conversation would gather a crowd, William begged Annabel to discuss whatever she had on her mind outside with him alone, but she refuses. She was tired of waiting for the right time, so she went ahead and told Nick how she had tried to fight for custody over him and that it was his father and grandfather who had blackmailed her to drop the case. They had vilified her, accusing her of cheating on William, even though William was also in a relationship with Rafaela at the time. Annabel expected Nick to side with her, but he did not care. Everything he had known and everyone he had trusted had failed him, and he was of the impression that the truth caused more harm than good. When William asked Annabel that she wanted, Annabel handed William a paternity test result. She claimed that her daughter Maggie was William's child and a lister. She was conceived during their trip to the Bunhouse before their divorce. Her second husband has asked for a paternity test, and that was when she realized that he was not Maggie's father. When William demanded to know how she conducted the test, Annabel explained that she had been to his house and had stolen his toothbrush to collect his DNA. Noah had no other option but to confess that she had let Annabel into their mansion. She explained that when Annabel told her she did not abandon Nick but was blackmailed to end the custody battle, Noah thought it was important for Nick to know the truth. Since his abandonment issues stems from his mother leaving him, Noah assumes the truth would help him kneel. Nick disagreed with her opinion. Now that he knew the truth, he thought his grandfather was a monster and his father never cared about him. He was all the more convinced that his mother did not love him and was only trying to reconnect with him because she wanted to secure her daughter's future. The truth made him feel lonely, it made him question the people he loved, and he blamed Noah for everything. He went back to the party and kissed Sophia, knowing that it would break Noah's heart. Will Nick and Noah get back together? When Nick left the party, his best friend Leon accompanied them. He tried to help Nick understand that Noah was innocent and by hurting her, he was destroying their relationship. He had been through a similar situation with his girlfriend Gina and realized how much she meant to him only after she decided to leave him. Leon regretted pushing Gina away even though she tried to keep their relationship intact. He begged Nick not to make the same mistake. Leon asked him to imagine his life without Noah and think about how it made him feel. Nick immediately knew Leon was right. He loved Noah and he was ready to overcome every hurdle just to be with her. He regretted kissing Sophia and he hoped that maybe Noah would forgive him one last time. He returned to the party and Briar informed him that Noah had already left. Nick asked Briar why she was trying to ruin his life now, and she explained that it was because he did not have the capacity to visit her at the hospital after she suffered more than 20 fractures, and it was not just that. Briar added that she was pregnant at the time, and she was convinced that the Lister family was responsible for her miscarriage because the hospital belonged to them and they wanted to get rid of the baby. Nick thought she was making wild guesses, and when he asked her where Noah was, she told him that she had gone to her apartment. In your far ending, this went to Noah's apartment, but she was not there. He waited for her outside only to find her returning from McHale's house. Briar had stolen the keys to the apartment so that Noah would have no other choice but to take shelter at Michelle's house. Noah was devastated and Michelle turned off her phone, a desperate move to keep Nick away. He offered Noah a shoulder to carry on and they ended up getting physically intimate. Noah immediately regretted her decision and left her apartment. Nick was shut down. He saw Noah in Michelle's clothes. They crossed paths but they did not exchange a word. Rafaela regretted every decision she had taken, thinking it was best for Noah. She was ashamed of choosing herself and patronizing her relationship with William when Noah was in danger. William too was regretful over keeping Nick in the dark and selfishly creating a distance between him and his mother. Your Fall ended with Noah visiting her father's tombstone and finally gathering her courage to bid him farewell. She had decided to let go of whatever had transpired a years ago, but before leaving, she noticed Nick's handwritten note on the tomb. Even after everything they had been through, Nick promised to be her light in the darkness. Your Fault ends on a hopeful note. Even though Nick and Noah were briefly on a break, we can expect them to find their way back to each other. In the next installment, Our Fault, we will possibly find out if Nick went to London as he had planned. Getting back together will not be an easy journey, considering they have a lot of sped up issues to address, but their undying love for one another will hopefully reunite them. Michelle and Briar will probably do their best to keep them apart, and how Nick and Noah will deal with the threat is something we will have to wait and watch. Your Fault movie review. Nicole Wallace Gabriel Guevara sequel is a deadweight romantic drama. Gabriel Andres, Alex Beecher, Nicole Wallace, Gabriel Guevara are the cast, and the movie is directed by Domingo González, rating 1.5 stars and runtime at 120 minutes. Scripted by Domingo González and Sofia Downs. Your Fault is a Spanish romantic drama about a forbidden love story and is based on a Wattpad story. The film is based on the second novel in the Culpabilis trilogy, Culpa Tuya by Mercedes Ron, and is sequel to My Fault, Culpa Mía. You can also expect a prospective final in Our Fault, and since this is intended as a trilogy. Step siblings Noah and Nick struggle to maintain their forbidden romance despite their parents' attempt to separate them. As Noah begins university and Nick focuses on his professional career, their lives get entangled in new challenge. The reappearances of Nick's vindictive ex-girlfriend and the ambiguous intention of his mother further strain their relationship, threaten to unravel their bond, and disrupt the dynamics of the Lister family. This sequel to the popular Amazon Prime hit finds the same parents continue aggressively in their efforts to stop the young lovers romancing in glamorous locations. Sultry intense Sophia is one of the lords that is being dragged below Nick's nose, while Noah's interest in illegal drag racing could also become a deal breaker. This is basically a stereotypical romantic drama with no humor or nouns. The performances are wooden and the treatment doesn't allow for any great affection. But since My Fault was well received, this one is also likely to see the same fate. Moreover, Prime Video appears to have launched on to this without much thought, mainly because the viewers was already in the bag. My Fault is the first one movie, and Your Fault is the sequel of the this movie. So what happened at the ending? What becomes of Nick and Noah relationship? My Fault, Culpa Mía might not be a cinematic masterpiece or a film with a heavy theme, but it certainly captured hearts and gained a devoted fan following. If you're not familiar with it, the original film follows the story of Nick and Noah, two teens from wealthy, privileged backgrounds who fall deeply in love. However, their relationship faces a major obstacle when their parents strongly oppose it. The reason is that Nick and Noah are technically step siblings. Noah's mother, Rafaela, is married to William, Nick's father, making their love story anything but allowed. Despite their parents' disapproval and numerous attempts to keep them apart, Nick and Noah love prevails. Now, years later, Your Fault, originally titled Culpa Tuya 2024, directed by Domingo González, explore more of Nick and Noah love story. probing whether their relationship remains strong enough to withstand their parents' continued efforts to tear them apart. Nick insists that he has changed and he no longer picks unnecessary fight or participate in dangerous races just to chase the thrill. But is it really the truth? Your fault plot summary and movie synopsis. What's new in Nick and Noah life? The film opens with Nick surprising Noah at a party. He sweeps her off her feet, holding her close and kissing her, completely unaware or perhaps indifferent to the disapproving traits of Rafaela and William. Their parents are adamantly against their relationship and want to break them apart because Nick and Noah are step siblings. Soon after, we see Nick and Noah traveling and making the most of their time together before life pulls them in different directions. Noah is preparing to start medical school while Nick has landed an internship at his father's company. Nick trusts Noah, but doubts creep in when his friend Leon jokingly tells him she cannot trust anyone these days. This makes Nick a little uneasy, so when his grandfather offers him a lavish flat near Noah's college, Nick accepts partly as a way to stay close to her. However, when Noah assumes Nick wants them to move in together, it unsettled him. Nick is not quite ready for that level of commitment yet, and when Noah senses is the same, she rents a different apartment near campus and moves in with her new roommates, Briar. Meanwhile, Nick starts his internship at his father company and gets paired with Sophia, a confident and stunning co-worker who quickly catches everyone's attention, including Nick. Who is Briar and how does Nick knows her? As mentioned earlier, Briar is Noah's roommate, and although they both attended St. Maria, they were not acquainted back then. However, when Nick visits Noah's apartment, his reaction to seizing Briar is startling. He freezes as if he has seen a ghost, then leaves the apartment in a hurry, even forgetting his phone. At first, the film doesn't reveal why Nick reacted this way, and Noah doesn't suspect anything unusual either, but as the story goes on, we learn that Briar had a boyfriend she dated for some time. They spent their night at bars and participated in illegal street races with her boyfriend behind the wheel and Briar riding shotgun. One fateful day, Bride and her boyfriend were involved in a devastating accident and that left her severely injured. She spent 2 years in the hospital recovering, but during the entire time, her racer boyfriend never once visited her. He did not leave a flower by her bedside, send a card, or even call to check on her. When Briar was finally discharged, she desperately tried to track him down, but her efforts led nowhere. The scars on her wrists suggest that Briar may have even attempted to end her life, struggling to cope with the heartbreak and betrayal that Nick sent her way. And in case you have not guessed yet, Briar's boyfriend was none other than Nick. The two had been together for a few months, but after her accident, Nick disappeared from her life without a trace. Briar was pregnant at that time, but Nick's grandfather used his influences and power to get Briar institutionalized, leading to her losing the baby. A still from Your Fault 2024, when Noah noticed Sophia getting a little too close to Nick, she loses her temper during a dinner party. Frustrated and hurt, she confronts Nick, accusing him of keeping Sophia a secret. Noah makes it clear that she hated being lied to, as it makes her feel isolated and question if Nick loves her or sincerely as she loves him. Noah also gave Nick a chance to come clean about anything he might be hiding, but despite it, Nick chooses to stay silent. What Annabelle tried to tell Nick. Noah chooses decided to give Annabelle a chance to explain herself. Annabelle presents documents that prove she did not willingly abandon her son Nick, but was forced to do so. If you are unaware, Annabelle had been unfaithful to William during their marriage, and when Nick's grandfather discovered this, he blackmailed her into signing divorce papers. At the same time, William was having an affair with Rafaela, Noah's mother, though Annabelle was unaware of it. This shatters Noah as it brings back painful memories of the trauma her father put her through, pain she could have been spared if her mother had not been spending time with William in luxury hotel rooms. After the divorce, Annabelle fought for custody for Nick but stood no chance against her father in law's army of liars. She made multiple attempts to contact Nick and share her side of the story, but Nick always ignored her. Over the years, Annabelle wrote countless letters to him, but he would tear them up without reading them. Annabelle is soon to be divorced again because her current husband is having suspicions that his daughter Maggie is not actually his. All the misunderstandings eventually come to a head when Noah tells Nick that their relationship is not working and maybe they should take a break. Nick responds by revealing that he is moving to London for a new job and asks Noah to make her decision about their future within a week. In the following days, during a gala, Briar and Annabelle create a sense by confronting William and his father. Annabelle accuses them of forcing her out of Nick's life and explains how she fought hard for custody but could not compete against William's team of high-powered liars. Annabelle also shocked everyone by handing over a paternity test providing that Maggie is William's daughter when Nick discovered that it was Noah's who helped Annabelle uncover and present the truth. He feels betrayed and heartbroken. He blames Noah for tearing their family apart. In anger, Nick feels end their relationship and to make things worse, kisses Sophia in front of Noah at the gala. After a prep talk from Leon, Nick realizes he has made a mistake, but the time he is ready to make amends, Noah has already slept with someone else, a decision she deeply regrets afterward. When Noah runs into Nick's outside her apartment, she instantly senses what has happened. Without a word, he drives away. The movie closes with Noah's visiting her father's grave, finally forgiving him for the pain and trauma he caused her. But the bigger question remains, what lies ahead for Nick and Noah? Are they truly over and can they find a way back to each other? While the couple has faced countless challenges and come out stronger, this time feels different. This is not just a misunderstanding, it is a crossroad where one kissed someone out of spite and the other sought comfort in their grief. Whether their love can survive this remains uncertain, leaving us with the liberty to ponder their future. Your Fault 2024 movie review completely nutshell and terribly acted. After last year's My Fault, Nook and Nia are back at in again, and this time Noah goes off to college, making things complicated in the household. As she gets her first taste of independence, Nick starts to feel left out, causing friction in their relationship. Meanwhile, she also butts heads with her mother, who is not supportive of her relationship with her stepbrother, fearing the backlash. Will Nick and Noah get there happily ever after? The film has a runtime of 120 minutes and is based on Culpa Tuya by Mercedes Ron. The movie cast is Nicole Wallace, Gabriel Guevara, Marta Hanses, Ian Sanchez, Eva Rios, Victor Verona, The video director is Domingo González, and the writer is Domingo González and Sofia Sanchez. The review of the movie. Your Fault is such a mind-numbing experience of a film that every sense reminds me of everything unfortunate in my life. The film is the second installment of the franchise after the equally horrid My Fault, whose theme and storytelling made me want to run off to the mountains and never come back. Somehow it becomes popular enough to rent another edition, but after the never ending franchise of 365 days, the after series, and the like, I am truly not surprised. Anyway, Your Fault continues to be a trophy and wooden entry. This is neither entertaining nor good. The film tests your patience and delves into topics that have nothing to do with the overreaching story and clearly added because there was frankly nothing else to add. It pushes the boundary of reality and makes you wonder where in the world this would ever happen. Of course, those who have also watched the trash films will be able to catch their similarities that they all have. The film is shockingly but unsurprisingly the same and does nothing to set itself apart in any way. It's also surprising to note that in 2024 we get meddling adults who, for lack of having anything to do, cartoonishly cook up ways to stop kids from dating. Listen, I'm not going to get into the whole step siblings dating thing, but when has stopping young adults from dating historically worked out? It's just so stupid and unnecessary that you cannot help but roll your eyes after every sequence. The film also introduced a B plot concerning Leon and a drug thing that comes out of nowhere, leaving no impact and does nothing other than pad the runtime. The true problem with this film and many like it is that it is utterly for the shock factor and there is initially no logic to be found whatsoever. Things happen one after another without any coherence and you are forced to endure 2 hours worth of literal illogical stories strung together by Noah and Nick making out like ponies. It's uncomfortable, uncouth, and everyone apparently has some secret that they don't want anyone to find out that they continue to do shady things that bring the truth out in the open. Everyone sleeps with everyone, and after a while, you realize that the bed and don't really have any romantic meaning. It's just to attract more eyes to the screen. There is no warmth or emotion, and you never feel like rooting for these characters in any way. Your Fall features some new character, Briar and Sophia. Neither of whom is given any sort of character background for you to care. They are added just to add tension to the story and make the protagonist brighter over nothing. It's supposed to make you care of the characters and their issues, but it has the opposite effect, making you question why anyone would find the dysfunction and toxicity romantic in any way. The problem also presents when it's acting. None of the actors are good enough to make any sort of impact on the audience. The cartoonish stories are made worse by the truly terrible and wooden acting, especially by the protagonist. They either look uninterested or just plain terrible, with no emotions being betrayed on their faces. The film makes you feel nothing, neither love nor thrills, and the drama is stale and overdone, leaving you feeling thoroughly annoyed. Simply put, Your Fault is nonsensical and terrible with terrible performance. The drama and the scenes are just to catch as many eyes as possible without anything remotely making any sense. The franchise is supposed to have another edition, Our Fault, coming soon because no one wants the audience to have any sort of sensitivity in any way. Your Fault, or the Spanish name is Culpa Tuya, the sequel to the My Fault, Culpa Mía picks up where the original left off, continuing the story of Noah and Nick, whose deep bond is tested once again. This time, the film explored the theme of trust in greater path. Noah is now a college student, and Nick starts a new job working for his in law. Their lives take an unexpected turn when a new girl, Sofia, played by Gabriela Andrada, is introduced and paired with Nick to assist him on his internship and in new case. These new dynamics create tension and conflicts between the two characters. Meanwhile, Noah faces her own college and challenges as she navigates college life with a mysterious roommate named Brian. As they both grapple with their personal struggles, they can trust each other while protecting themselves from dangerous drug dealers and those who seek to separate them. Your Fault is a fantastic film with great cinematography. This time the story has favorite car races and action fight scene, focusing instead on the drama and trust issue in the relationship. Another great aspect of this story is the subplot about Leon, who is impressed that his girlfriend Gina is rich and he cannot provide for her. This sweet storyline adds excitement and danger to the film due to the path he takes. Your Fault had lots of subtle comedy and occasional humor throughout, which I enjoyed. There's a well choreographed big fight scene and a fast packed car race sense that feels like you are watching Fast and Furious. Gina and Noah are brothers in the car race scenes, which makes the boys more annoyed and adds to the comedy. The film is filled with unexpected shocking twists and turns while also keeping you guessing about Noah and Nick's loyalty to each other. Another highlight is the portrayal of the characters' friendship, especially the bond between Leon and Noah. Despite not spending much time together, they continue to support and care for one another, offering comfort, hugs, and always having each other back. The entire cast is great, including the new addition. The chemistry between Nicole and Gabriel is fantastic. They play off each other well and could be very romantic. Noah is badass in this film. From her action and style, she stands up for herself and holds her head high even when she knows Nick will criticize her. Her interest to scenes are memorable and loved her outfits including jackets, shoes and boots. Nick is also cool in this film. One thing I enjoy about this character is that he is not toxic or has anger issue like many other similar films. He has a great sense of style, especially his jackets. Another impactful moment in the plot is that even though Noah's dad tries to kill her in the previous film, she still loves him. The cinematography in the film is excellent and it effectively captures both sunlight and dark scene. Even in the darkness moments, the lighting allows you to see the character clearly. However, the film ends abruptly, but the final shot is clearly and beautifully done, enhancing the emotional impact. The end credit play as the scene continues. Despite watching the film in Spanish, it occasionally includes English songs and words that we share with the Spanish language. Culpa Tuya was a great film, but I had a few issues with the story. The film is more drama heavy, and I would have enjoyed a few more car races or action fight scenes because there are far fewer compared to the first film. I also got slightly confused at times with Noah's character and didn't understand why she acted in certain ways. I think Nick was also confused sometimes with her. There are numerous twists and revelations that are explained well, but it can sometimes be a bit unclear. Overall, Your Fault is a fantastic film. I would have preferred one action and a less abrupt ending, but these flaws can be overlooked due to the talented cast and compelling story. I highly recommend watching it and I cannot wait for the third installment. Your Fall, what become of Nick and Noah relationship basically. My Fault might not be a cinematic masterpiece or filled with heavy theme, but it certainly captured hearts and gained a devoted fan following. Your Fault is the 2024, the sequel of the My Fault, is pretty much a swoon fest. I was not familiar with Mercedes' non-capable trilogy before watching My Fault, and the film was intriguing enough for me to take an interest in the book. Your Fault 2024 is the Spanish movie. So, the review of the movie, a roller coaster of romance and recklessness. Diving into Culpa Tuya, the sequel to the 2023 hit Culpa Mía, I found myself both entertained and exhilarated, a true cinematic tug of war. The film picks up with Noah and Nick, whose love seems was unbreakable as a Nokia 3310. Despite their parents' best efforts to put a relationship, police yet as they venture into new territories. Noah into college life and Nick into the workforce. Their bond faces fresh challenges that make Mount Everest look like a molehill. On the sunny side, the chemistry between Nicole Wallace and Gabriel Guevara remains palpable. Their on-screen connection is akin to a well-made espresso strong, invigorating and capable of keeping you engaged even though the film's more questionable choices. The racing senses is particular inject a mesh needed underline crush reminiscent of the Fast and Furious franchise but with the distinctly Spanish flair in it's in these moments that the film ends its stride, delivering high octane excitement that leaves you momentary forgetting the plot's more ludicrous turns. However, as the plot unfolds, it becomes clear that the film has bitten off more taps than it can chew. The introduction of new characters such as Sophia, the attractive college who seems to have wandered off the set of a telenovela, adds a layer of complexity that feels more like necessary complications. Nick's mother, portrayed with all the subtlety of a cartoon villain, further maddies. The waters have motive as transparent as a brick wall. The narrative attempts to jungle theme of jealousy, revenge, and personal growth, but often drop the ball, leaving viewers scratching their heads and wondering if they have accidentally switched to a different movie. The film pacing is akin to a Spanish siesta, luxury and at times saporific, while the first installment, Culpa Mía, embraces its soap opera roots with a wink and a nudge. Culpa seems to make itself as seriously as a matador in a blurring, losing the playful charm that made its predecessor a guilty pleasure. The dialogue oscillates between melodramatic decorations and defying love and cring, worthy glitches that would have even the most seasoned romance novelist blush. Yet, amidst the cast, there are glamours of genuine emotion. Noah's journey into college life introduced Michelle, a character who offers her the kind of support that Nick, with his penchant for bad decision and brooding looks, struggle to provide. Their interactions bring a breath of fresh air, suggesting that perhaps Noah's heart is not as firmly anchored as she or the audience might have believed. It's in these quieter moments that the film hints at a depth it rarely managed to fully explore. Visually, Kilpato is a treat. The cinematography captured the vibrant energy of its Spanish setting with the sun-drenched landscape and dynamic cityscapes that serve as a picturesque backdrop to the unfolding drama. The soundtrack, too, deserves a nod, seemingly blending contemporary hits with tradition influence, creating an auditory experience that complements the film's emotional beats. In conclusion, Culpato is a mixed parallel. It stirs up a heavy helping of romance and drama, seasoned with moments of genuine excitement, but is occasionally overcooked with convoluted subplots and underdeveloped characters. If you enjoyed the first film and have a taste of melodrama served with the side of high speed chases, this sequel might just be your cup of cafe on launch. Just don't be surprised if you find yourself rolling your eyes as often as you are clutching the edge of the seat. Your Fault 2024. Amazon MGM Studios, just like Netflix, know how to get people watching their exclusive movies, and so it has proven once again as Your Fault or Culpa Tuya in its native Spanish has easily pushed aside the festive action blockbuster Red One to claim the top spot on Prime Video's global chart. The sequel to 2023's My Fault, Culpa Mía was released on December 27, 2024, but despite mirroring its preceders in debuting at number 1 on the streamers chart, it has also been equally slammed by critics. It seems that the trend of badly reviewed, chart-topping original movies across streaming platforms is one that is not about to end as we head into 2025. Your Fault is a perfect example of why in 2023 My Fault landed a dreaded 0% Rotten Tomatoes score from critics on Rotten Tomatoes but surprisingly landed on 86% rating from audience. To boot, it became a runaway success for Prime Video. That impressive feat meant that Amazon MGM Studios wasted no time in greenlighting two sequels. Directed by Domingo González, Your Fault is based on the second novel in the Culpables saga by Mercedes Ron. Starting out as a Wattpad story, the tale was then expanded to three novels that have become online sensations. This immediately gives an adaptation a strong fan base that will flock to check it out. However, the films almost always struggle with critics, with threadbare plots, leaving them feeling excited and uninterested in the end produced. Naturally, the success of any movie and the quality of said movie are not always intrinsically linked. Really bad movies often produce large box office hauls, while perfect films struggle to draw in large crowds. In the case of Culpa Tuya, it seems that critics have been not quite as brutal as they were for Culpa Mía, but the reviews so far are only a minor improvement. For those who have invested in the story, Culpa Tuya continues to follow the romance between step siblings Noah and Nick while incorporating the same old theme of family issue, forbidden love, and plenty of other romantic drama tropes to boot. This is perhaps one of the biggest criticism for both Culpa movies and other similar Wattpad adaptations. However, while frantically dried of the superficial way of portraying relationship as well as failing to provide any depth or real character development. There is a little way to deny they have found a substantial market on streaming platforms. Culpa Tuya is just the latest and not the last to follow the trend. Among the pitiful number of reviews that have been submitted for the movie, as happened with streaming sequel, The Guardian People Bradshaw seems to sum things up by saying that this might provincially bizarre and woodenly acted Room Drop from Spain is the second of the projected trilogy and a whooping rating success for Amazon Prime Video despite or because of the fact that it makes a daytime TV soap look like Incomer Bregman. For those who are completely invested in the story and the chart-topping positions of Culpa Tuya indicate there are many we can expect to see Culpa Nuestra complete the trilogy late in 2025. Your Fault, and this one tries to keep Noah and Nick apart in new Your Fault teaser trailer. The holiday season is about to get incredibly intense for fans of the Spanish rom drama movie My Fault, also called Culpa Mía, as Amazon Studio has finally hinted at what's to come in the new sequel titled Your Fault, Culpa Tuya, which is set to premiere this December. Using an all-new teaser for the upcoming movie, the media chat teases the return of lead star Nicole Wallace and Gabriel Guevara as Noah and Nick, respectively, whose love story may not end well, with so many people aiming to destroy it. Directed by Domingo González in his directorial feature-length debut, the original movie My Fault was released in June 2023 on Amazon Prime Video and as an adaptation of the wet story of the same name by Mercedes Ron. In addition to Wallace and Guevara's appearances in the film, other stars included are Marta as Rafaela, Ian Sanchez as William Lister, Eva Royce as Gina, Victor Verona as Leon, Fran Brincourt as Ronnie, and Ian Macies as Jonas. As seen in the trailer view, Noah and Nick are captured closely facing each other at a party with people dancing around them. Eventually, they drift apart as several characters come between them, expressing their disapproval of their romance. Gina warns Noah against Nick's commitment issue. Leon's point at the disadvantage of dismay in the relationship, while Rafaela and William feel guilty about something they have done. Other characters included in the nightclub teaser include Briar, Annabelle, Michelle, and Sophia, who are also immersed in the glamorous dancing experience. Noah and Nick Forbidden Love Tale will continue beyond your fault. While fans anticipate the return of their faves to small screens in Your Fault, this will be glad to know that Prime Video has also greenlit the production of one more sequel in Ron's book trilogy, Culpa Nuestra, which completes the franchise, has yet to be developed, but director Gonzalez is said to helm the project, similar to the first two installments. For those looking to check out the first movie in the franchise, the synopsis is teased as Noah must leave her town, boyfriend, and friends to move into her mom's new husband mansion. There she meets her new stepbrother Nick, and their personalities clash from the very beginning. But the attraction they feel will lead them to live a forbidden relationship where their rebellious and tormented temper will turn their worlds upside down, making them fall madly in love. Your Fall is now premiering on Amazon Prime, while its prequel is currently available to watch on the streamer. Your Fall 2024 movie review. The movie Your Fault is the sequel to the 2023 movie Culpa Mía. Despite their parents' efforts to separate them, Noah and Nick's love seems unbreakable. However, work and college open their lives to new relationships. And this was the main theme of the movie. Culpa Tuya, aka Your Fault, the Nicole Wallace and Gabriel Guevara saga trades lust for exterior drama. Culpa Tuya, aka Your Fault movie. We are close night family. I give this movie half a star extra for this madly amusing self-aware line uttered by Nick. Whether you choose to watch further is entirely up to you. Still here, alright, let's dive in. I know I am not the demographic Culpa Tuya or its producer Culpa Mía is aiming for, but honestly, who is the target audience for these films? Regardless, Culpa Mía was an OTT hit, so naturally, we have a sequel with another already on the way in 2025. I'm not trying to be a snob, I enjoy movies, but this one is just not funny enough to mask the poor writing and performances on the display. A year has passed since the events of the first film, My Fault, and now the movie Cast is Nicole Wallace, Gabriel Guevara, Yvonne Sanchez, Marta Hayes as Rafaela, and there are some new members performing in this video. Another glorious romantic glitches buffet. The sequel to the steamy and widely popular 2023 young adult romance film Culpa Mía continues to embrace its over-the-top absurdity without ever pretending to be something it's not, a rare quality in films today. The entire cast is stunning, the locations are breathtaking, and the storyline never fails to entertain, albeit in a trashy romance novel kind of the way. However, Culpa Tuya perpetuates the franchise identity crisis, feeling like an all-you-can-eat buffet of a young film stars. Is it a rom-com, a martial arts flick where the character dresses perpetually in design clothes, and underground crime drama when even the ultra-wealthy have to get their hands dirty to survive, or a Fast and Furious style street racing saga for those grabbing sleek cars and high-speed thrills? Honestly, I have no idea. The last time we saw step-siblings Noah and Nick, they had finally succumbed to their possession only for their parents to catch them kissing with looks of utter horror on their faces. Rafaela, after witnesses her daughter looking lips with her new husband Ion's son, promptly tells her husband that they need to break up. However, their resolve is now being tested. Noah is off to college where she befriends Briar, a free spirit with a dark secret. Meanwhile, Nick, who has a knack for throwing punches, chasing girls, breaking traffic laws in any luxury car can get his hands on, and asking question later is determined to prove to Noah that he has changed his reckless ways. That effort is completed when he meets colleagues at his dad's law firm. After being told not to check out as she walks away, Nick naturally does precisely that with all the defense of a rebellious teenager. Yeah, it's that kind of movie. Culpa Tuya is based on the second book of Mercedes Ron's best-selling series, The Culpability Trilogy. Like the first installment, this second chapter offers a dozen of carrots of the audience to chase but refuses to deliver even a single stake. Once again directed by Domingo González, who adapted the original, the sequel credits Sofia Coenza as a co-writer. I am guessing she contributed to the dialogue, which was so absurd and laughable the first time around that it was jaw-dropping. Now it's just eye-opening. Unfortunately, there's no more talk of Inuit kisses or putting out fire volcanoes on your mouth. Much to any disappointment, not my fault, not yours, but theirs. Please forgive the pun play on words, yet the term sister sandwich took a wide turn about 30 minutes in. While we can pick holes in Prime Video's Culpa Tuya all day, we must take a moment to praise on one thing that cannot be denied. The chemistry between Wallace and Guevara, which ignites the screen rapidly. I would not argue that the performances are stiff and cardboard as many will. The talented cast struggle to elevate the material, but they do what they can. In particular, Wallace brings some nods to the role of Noah. I will say Guevara shows as evident talent for comic relief. However, the franchise throws so much at the screen, so it's like watching the cinematic equivalent for another glorious, romantic glitches buffet. The second entry is quite an improvement over the first. Still, the technique of throwing everything you can at the streaming screen and hoping they all stick is frankly bizarre. The method will cover glaring plot holes, but it doesn't care who knows it. Culpa Tuya is incredibly comfortable within its skin. That is fine for fans of this new, glorious genre that Prime Video has created for itself. Yet, each plot twist is utterly predictable. leaving very little suspense in its wake. Sure, the journey may be exciting, like having a cat chase a letter, but you will walk away clueless about what you just saw from the experience. Culpa Tuya 2024 movie reviews. 2024 movie Culpa Tuya's ending explain how do Noah and Nick relationship unravel in the final. Your Fault premiere on 27 December 2024 is a Spanish young adult romantic drama directed by Domingo González on Prime Video. The film is the continuation or sequel of the acclaimed My Fault and advances the narrative derived from the Culpable series by Mercedes Dawn. Featuring Gabriel, Guevara, and Nicole Wallace, the film explored the indices of love, trust, and betrayal. The plot of Your Fault follows Noah and Nick as they navigate new challenges in their relationship while starting university and embarking on professional career. The main cast include Nicole Wallace as Noah and Gabriel Guevara as Nick, supported by Marta, Eon Senses, and others. The relationship between Noah and Nick falls apart in the final as a result of several misunderstandings and betrayal that reveal the root of their trust problem. The breaking of Nick and Noah's bond happened at the annual gala when secrets about Nick's family and Noah's lies cause a painful breakup. The film's emotionally charged and shocking ending leaves viewers wondering what happened to Noah and Nick next. The annual gala is a significant part of Your Fault's ending since during this event tension reached their highest. To seek her vengeance, Briar Nick vindictive ex-girlfriend uses the kitchen as a backdoor to bring Nick's mother Annabelle to the gala. Dramatic events unfold as a result of this act, putting strain on relationships and revealing hidden truth. The scared event is interrupted by Annabelle's presence, which drives the plot toward its climax through uncomfortable confrontation and revelations. Annabelle surprises everyone by attending the gala and dispelling rumors she left Nick. When she reveals that Phil, Nick's father, is Maggie's father, family dynamics becomes more complicated. This revelation surprises everyone, adding to the treachery and deceit. The family's emotional turmoil and Noah and Nick relationship worsen after Annabelle's revelation. All characters now have to face unpleasant realities. Annabelle's paternity test discloses Nick's father's surprising truth. After Noah lets Annabelle steal Will's toothbrush to access his DNA, Will's true identity is revealed. Noah's manipulation by entrusting legal letter into Nick's office deepens the conflict. The breakup is inevitable because her action erodes Nick's trust. Nick acts without thinking by kissing Sophia in front of Noah at the gala. He feels completely betrayed by Noah's. Not only does it revenge make things worse between Noah and Nick, but it also sets off a chain of regrettable events. Nick's public display of affection for Sophia is a turning point that shows how angry and desperate he is. It makes his relationship with Noah even more complicated. Noah is heartbroken and shocked in the rain after the gala. She visits Michelle's apartment searching for solace, which results in an hilarious encounter. Despite her despondent state, Noah kisses Michelle, symbolized by the heart necklace Nick gave her, crashing to the ground. This moment represents the dissolution of her relationship with Nick, leaving her feeling even more bereaved. The story is further complicated by the ambiguity surrounding Noah and Michelle's interaction. The final moment of Your Fault confront Noah and Nick breakup. Nick drives off after Noah leaves her apartment. Noah finds a touching message from Nick at her father's grave, embracing their separation. Some feelings remain. It somehow suggests their story is not over. Unresolved tension leaves their future uncertain, making the film's ending poignant and emotional. Your Fault is available to stream on Prime Video. Your Fault ending explains why do Nick and Noah break up? Did Noah sleep with Michelle? It comes as a no surprise that Your Fault end in heartbreaking circumstance. Nick and Noah break up mainly because the couple failed to communicate and be honest. Their lack of trust rears its ugly head at the annual gala during a tumultuous ending. How Nick and Noah break up. If there's one thing that Your Fault does perfectly, it is articulate heartbreak. During the annual gala, Nick's ex bride seeks revenge and lets Nick's mother Annabelle into the gala via the kitchen to cause trouble. Nick's family is dismissed to see Annabelle just because the event is scared. They do not want to cause any drama, so they allow Annabelle to speak to them outside. Annabelle first revealed that she did not abandon Nick and that Will and the lawyers did everything they could to stop her from having custody of him. She also revealed she did not split up the family because Will was already having an affair with Rafaela because before she met her new husband. Noah already knew this but did not tell Nick as she wanted him to read the legal letter she planted in his office. But then Annabelle reveals a shocking revelation. She explains via a paternity test that Nick's father, Will, is Maggie's father. Consequently, she wants Will to provide for her and her daughter due to his parental right. This is a shock for the full family, but everyone is curious about how Annabelle got the DNA. Noah has a face of shame and she revealed that she allowed Annabelle into Will's house, which is why she took Will's toothbrush to get his DNA. Noah not only does not reveal to Nick that she knows his mother's information about not abandoning him, but she also allows his mother to destroy the family. The family is at breaking point. Annabelle has all the ammo she needs. Clearly, she did not care about Nick, she just wanted the money. Nick feels betrayed and breaks up with Noah at the moment. Anger consumes him. He feels that he has stabbed in his back to get revenge, which is not a wise move. Nick walks over to Sophia in front of Noah and kisses her. Noah hurt Nick, so Nick hurt Noah, a vicious cycle leading to further vengeful events between Noah and Michelle. The heartbreak is itched all over Noah's face. It feels and looks over for her and Nick. A question on your mind is the lead up to our fault is whether Noah slept with Michelle, but it appears she did. It's not entirely clear. Is this on purpose? I suspect the ambiguity will be answered in the third film. Leading up to the pivotal moment in the aftermath of the annual gala and Nick and Noah break up, before Noah leaves the gala, Briar glares to her about ruining their lives. She shows Noah's photos in which it looks like Nick and Sophia are intimate before the kiss she just witnesses. They are not, the image are misleading. Noah then finds Brad and asks her where Noah is, but she is still gloating. She then revealed that she was pregnant but lost the baby in the accident they were involved in, and his family dealt with the situation. Briar makes it clear she wants Nick to pay for what he did. However, Nick appears unaware of what his family did after the accident involving him and Briar. Nick, realizing that he made a massive mistake reacting and breaking up with Noah and subsequently kissing Sophia in front of her, heads over to Noah's college apartment, but she is not there. Noah cannot get into her apartment because Briar stole her keys. Noah, drenched in the rain and heartbroken, heads to the apartment of college counselor Michelle, who has wanted to sleep with her since the start of the movie. Noah is disappointed and doesn't want to talk, but she kisses Michelle anyway. The heart necklace that Nick gave her falls to the floor as they symbolic of falling relationship with Nick. Again, it's not clear what happened between Noah and Michelle, but Noah does not look happy after. She seems heartbroken as she did at the gala. She heads back to her apartment and sees a drenched Nick outside waiting for her. But Nick can sense that Noah has done something with Michelle. Noah walks away and Nick drives off, finalizing their breakup for good. At the end of My Fault, Will and Rafaela are determined to keep Noah and Nick away from each other, but at the end of the movie, they both feel guilty for what they have done. They sense that from now on, Noah and Nick will blame them for their relationship not working out, hence, the title of the next film, Our Fault. The third film we show the parents doing the right thing and finding a way to make amends for Nick and Noah, this is suggesting in this scene anyway. The ending of Your Fall also gives a shred of hope for Nick and Noah. When Noah visits her father's grave, she sees that Nick has written on the gravestone that says, Noah, I will always be your light in the darkness, Nick. Sometimes couples need a watershed moment to realize they are meant for each other, but honestly, from a realistic perspective, the events of the annual gala and what happened after would be difficult for any couple to recover from. Your Fault is a teasing lead up to Our Fault. Your Fault Culpa Tuya is a heavy sequel to the global hit My Fault, mainly because it does not hold back. The plethora of bad scenes prove this, but it's not just the streaming this that makes Your Fault compelling. It has a similar vibe to the after movie series which it's trying to best and most likely to do so after that dreadful After Everything. Let me explain the scenario in the second movie of the already confirmed trilogy. Following the events of the My Fault, the parents of Noah and Nick, Will and Rafaela have remained determined to keep their lusting children apart. Nick, Gabriel Guevara, has been sent to his father's law firm in San Francisco for a year and is encouraged to spark a romance with the work colleague Sophia. Meanwhile, Rafaela, played by Marta, is doing everything she can to ensure Noah does not live with Nick, getting her up in a college apartment so she can have the whole experience. Of course, their attempt to stop them from being together do not work, as proven at the start of Your Fault as Nick arrives at the end of Noah's 18th birthday, where they naturally have romance against the wall and barely any difficulty because by the point they have their parents are underestimated them. Putting aside the fact that this teen fictional drama plays on the whole stepsister and stepbrother dynamic that has rotted the brains of our younger generation. Your Fault proves there are plenty of stories to tell. Nick continues to be flaunt, undermined by his fear of amendment. Noah feels that Nick's family wealth is controlling her life. On the sideline is a Vilcano ready to explore Nick's ex-return bride, who happens to be Noah's doormate. She has a past she wants to avenge with Nick, but Nick's mother, Annabelle, returns too, desperate to prove she did not abandon her son and lay blame on Will and Rafaela. As far I feel like a 2 hour running time for the second film was too far much. Firstly, I give the fan base what they want, what is a lot of Noah and Nick enjoying each other, and secondly, it teases where they wish to remain together. However, the writers managed to weave in some compelling subplots that fill the gaps. For example, Leon is insecure about being unable to provide for his wealth girlfriend Gina, and the crime world that surrounds street racing. Yes, the makes an exciting return in Your Fault. Let's not discount Sophia's role in all this, played by the stunning Gabriela Andrada, directed Domingo González, teases the audience with potential new romances to up the drama but provides Nick with a genuine temptation that would fear. There's a real message in Your Fault about modern relationship. The basis of the drama starts when Leon and Nick feel insecure about their partner joining college and embarking on a new life. They think they will be left behind due to the next experience they will face. This is a true today young couples chase artificial experience and dopamine hits due to the fear of missing out rather than doing the hard work of commitment. Of course, there's a irony in this approach. Be Nick and Leon thinking it causes more problem and has them questioning their insecurities. Trust me, I have been there. If you have watched the After movie series, Your Fault will have no surprises. The title Do Not Hold Back. The next movie is called Our Fault and the ending provide context to the meaning. Has your fault been worth the wait? Certainly I'd argue that it causes just as much chaos and tension at first. But this time, it gives the fan more of what they want. Noah and Nick being very intimate, but how this series end will be key. That will determine the rewatch value. As a final point, check the director's hard drives because he is a super selective about when Noah and Nick refer to each other as brother and sister. 1 minute it doesn't matter, next is vital to the plot. Surely after everything that's happened, these characters would have even referred to each other in this way anymore. Your fault ending. What is Briar's secret and why do Noah and Nick separate? Your Fault aka Culpa Tuya takes up the story of Noah and Nick who start a perfect summer after their reunion. However, Noah's university, Nick, insecurities and endless family and personal conflict test their relationship. Between secrets, manipulations, and impulsive decisions, both face a love that faltered under the weight of circumstances. After starting a relationship, Noah and Nick have to fight those who oppose their love and your fault. Not only do they have to deal with the maneuver of Rafaela and William Lister, but they also have to face other problems such as jealousy, lies, and third parties that appeared in their lives at the most vulnerable moment. Do they manage to overcome those obstacles? Next, I will tell you what happened to the protagonist of the Amazon Prime Video sequel. Almost a year has passed since the death of Noah's father, and he has had to face the traumatic loss alone. As Nick was sent to do an internship at the San Francisco law firm, and his mother Rafaela is more focused on keeping the couple as far away as possible. On the day of Noah's 18th birthday party, Nick returns home and they resume their passionate romance. After graduation, the protagonist of Your Fault prepares to go to college and meet her roommate. This is Briar, a young woman from Nick's past seeking revenge. Why? Nick is paralyzed when he discovers that he is friends with his girlfriend. Still, he tries to hide in front of Noah, who already has enough of the jealousy caused by Sofia, Gabriela, and Rada, the new employee at the Lister law firm. But sometimes love is not enough, and their lives changes their Noah's entry into college and Nick's new job. Added to this is the arrival of new people and the opening of wounds from the past that seems closed. How could a relationship go well? Well, there are so many people who want to destroy it. Your Fault ending explain what is Briar's secret and why do Noah and Nick separate. When Nick announces that he will not return to San Francisco and that he prefers to work in his father's law firm, Rafaela has the great idea of hiring Sofia, a recent Harvard graduate who seeks to demonstrate that she is more than the daughter of the chemistry he has with William's son is blind, something parents celebrate. During a dinner for both families, it is suggested that Nick and Sofia form a beautiful couple. When those involved don't bother to clarify anything, Noah makes some commitments that surprise anyone at the table. Later, Nick apologizes for not telling him the truth about his partner and assures him that he has no more secrets. And his story with Briar. Meanwhile, Nick's mother, Annabelle, tries to get closer to her son who refuses to listen to his excuses and apologies for abandoning him. To remedy the situation, Annabelle turns to Noah, who initially rejects the women. However, the changes his mind when he hears that Rafaela and William were lovers long before formalizing their relationship. Noahs allow Annabelle to enter the Lister mansion, and while the young women confirm the story version of Nick's mother, the women steal William's toothbrush. What do you intend? Before leaving, Annabelle asks her son's girlfriend to send him a letter. Noah succeeds with the help of Sophia, but the higher of the Lister destroy it without reading it. What happened between Noah and Briar? During that time, Noah discovered that a few years earlier, Noah dated Briar but abandoned her after suffering a career accident. Her grandfather took care of the matter and sent her grandson away. Briar was very affected and even cried to save her life. To torment Nick, Noah decided to take Briar to the party, but before Noah and Gina shows up for an illegal race in which Nick and Leon also participate. After helping to win Leon, who needs the money to avoid losing his mechanical workshop, they go to the gala, where the protagonists of Your Fault agree to speak at midnights. Before the incidental time, the couple must deal with the truth. With Briar's help, Annabelle enters the events and confronts the Lister. She revealed to Nick that she never abandoned him and that her grandfather forces her to give him up. He also announces that William is Maggie's true father. Amid the uproar, Noah confesses that she allowed Annabelle to enter the mansion, which disappoints Nick. Noah tries to explain his motive, but Nick rejects her and leaves. Before leaving the room, he kisses Sophia, who warns her that she is making a mistake. Not until his friend Leon advises him that he calms down and returns for Noah, who is no longer at the party. The one that is there is Briar, who promises to make you pay for all the damage causes and the loss of your baby. Grandfather Lisa reportedly concealed the young woman's pregnancy and made sure it's ended. What happened to Noah and Nick? Nick drives at full speed to catch up to Noah, who is in a taxi and does not connect to his calls. When he arrives at the university department, Nick does not find the beloved since thanks to Briar interactions. Noah had no keys and took refuge from the rain in Michelle's house. After being carried away by passion, he returned to his apartment where he sees Nick. Although they say nothing, it is clear that everything is over. Will you be able to rescue your relationship? What will happen to them in the third movie, Our Fault? What do Nick and Noah end up apart? The outcome of Your Fault is an emotional whirlwind during a gala. Nick's family secret come to light thanks to Annabelle, Nick's biological mother, who reveals evidence that connects Nick's father's infidelity with Noah's family. This bumming sparks a discussion in which Nick and Impulse kisses Sophia, his partner from the law firm, marking the final breaking point with Noah following his painful act. Briar manipulates the situation by stealing the key to Noah's apartment. This creates a misunderstanding with Michelle, his college buddy, who tries to get closer to Noah by taking advantage of his vulnerability. Although Noah gives his momentarily, this episode symbolizes the end of his relationship with Nick, leaving both hearts broken. What role do family and personal conflict play? The film explores family tension and how they directly affect Noah and Nick's relationship, from the manipulation of Noah's mother to separate them to the secrets of Annabelle that expose the fragility of the Lister. External pressure pushed the protagonist to make mistakes and make hasty decisions. On the other hand, Nick's insecurities, fueled by his friends and his professional environment, lead him to constantly question their relationship. This, combined with Pratt's appearances and illegal career, ends up emotionally destabilizing him. The symbolism of Nick's final message. In the final scene, Noah visits his father's grave and finds a recorded message from Nick. You will always be my light in the dark, despite his mistake, and leave a bittersweet feeling. Although their ways have been separated, the message suggests that their bond will never be completely broken, even though it now seems impossible to recover what they had. Conclusion of Your Fault. Guilt here present us with the heartbreaking account of the challenge of young love in a world full of external pressure and internal conflicts. With a tragic and open ending, the film leaves us with a reflection on how wrong decision and secrets can destroy even the most intense relationship. Although Noah and Nick separate, their story leaves an incredible mark on both and them and the viewers. Conclusion of Your Fault, Culpa Tuya. Guilt here presents us with the heartbreaking account of the challenge of young love in a world full of external pressure and internal conflicts. With a tragic and open ending, the film leaves us with a reflection on how wrong decision and secret can destroy even the most intense relationship. Although Nick and Noah separate, their story leaves an incredible mark on both them and the viewers. Will there be a sequel to Your Fault, Culpa Toy? Yes, Amazon ordered two sequel to My Fault after its success in Prime Video. The sequel will be titled Our Fault, which will explore the consequences of Noah and Nick's decisions. The broken relationship between the two promise new tension, especially with Michelle and Briar will present in their lives. Furthermore, the revealed family secrets have only just begun to have an impact, and the role of Annabelle, along with the conflicts between the Lister and Morgan family, will surely intensify. So, Your Fault ending. What is Briar's secret and why do Noah and Nick separate basically? Your Fault, aka Culpa Toy, takes up the story of Nick and Noah, who starts a perfect summer after their reunion. However, Noah's generosity, Nick's insecurities, and endless family and personal conflict test their relationship. Between secrets, manipulations, and impulsive decisions, both face a love that filters under the weight of circumstances. After starting a relationship, Noah, Nicole Wallace, and Nick Gabriel Guevara have to fight those who oppose their love in Your Fault. Not only do they have to deal with the maneuvers of Rafaela, Marta, Hazas, and William Lister and Sanchez, but they also have to face their problems such as jealousy, lies, and third parties that appeared in their lives at the most vulnerable moment. Do they manage to overcome those obstacles? Next, I will tell you what happened to the protagonist of the Amazon Prime Video sequel. Almost a year has passed since the death of Noah's father, and she has had to face the traumatic loss alone. As Nick was sent to do an internship at the San Francisco law firm, and his mother Rafaela is more focused on keeping the couple as far away as possible. On the day of Noah's 18th birthday party, Nick returned home and they resumed their passionate romance. After graduating, the protagonist of Your Fault prepared to go to college and meet her roommate. This is Briar, Alex Beecher, a young woman from Nick's past seeking revenge. Why? Nick is paralyzed when he discovers he is friends with his girlfriend. Still, he tries to hide in front of Noah, who already has enough of the jealousy caused by Sophia, Gabriela, and Rada, the new employee at the Lister law firm. But sometimes love is not enough, and their loves change when Noah's entry into college and Nick's new job. Added to this is the arrival of new people and the opening of wounds from the past that seems closed. How could a relationship go well when there are so many people who want to destroy it? When Nix announced that he will not return to San Francisco and that he prefers to work in his father's law firm, Rafaela has the great idea of hiring Sophia, a recent Harvard graduate who seeks to demonstrate that she is more than the daughter of the chemistry has with Williamson is blind.